Josh James is a hardcore hunter from the backwoods of New Zealand.
I reckon my favourite weapon would have to be the longbow. There's heaps to eat if you know how to get it.
Matt Tebbett is a British chef who loves foraging for wild food.
Wild ingredients are everything to me.
Now the hunter and the chef have come together with one aim: to survive in the wildest places on Earth.
That's amazing. Well done, man.
And prove they can still eat like kings.
Oh, mate.
They'll forage and hunt for everything they need to stay alive.
Wow, look at that.
And to really test themselves, they're taking only basic kit.
This is about me pitting my wits against nature.
Damn it. Out here, God, you appreciate it. Every mouthful.
What was the name of your restaurant?
We made it!
Pulau Tiga, off the coast of Malaysia. A remote tropical island covered in dense jungle, surrounded by reefs. Kiwi hunter Josh James and British chef Matt Tebbett have asked to be dropped here to survive alone.
A bit choppy, isn't it?
It's not the smoothest ride I've ever had.
When I was a little kid, I used to read Robinson Crusoe, and I always imagined myself getting shipwrecked on an island. Now that I've got my man Friday, which is of course Matt, and we get to choose anywhere in the world to go, I chose the desert island.
Matt and Josh are determined to prove that they can not just survive, but make great food out of what this island has to offer. Forager Matt will have to search the jungle for edible palms, leaves, and fruits. For hunter Josh, this sea holds stingray, barracuda, and shellfish.
Very excited about this island because I think what it's going to deliver is all those Southeast Asian flavours that really get me going. I won't be happy until I can create restaurant quality food here on this desert island.
There's a lot of predatory fish here, the kind of fish that big game fishermen target, but I'm just going to see if I can land one.
Josh and Matt have asked the captain to come back for them in a week. Until then, they'll be surviving on their own.
This is home, mate. Next 7 days. Whatever it may bring.
They brought with them only the bare essentials for island survival.
I've got some fishing equipment. I've got my mask, snorkel and fins, bows, arrows, a couple of knives.
We've got a Dutch oven, and then in here, I've got a hammock.
You ready, Wilson?
I'll be Wilson. You look like Tom Hanks at the end of the film.
First, they have to find out if the island is habitable.
We do need water. That's key.
Their best hope is inland.
It's a bit of an impenetrable jungle in there.
With no map or compass, they're relying on Josh's bushcraft skills to find water.
Bloody thorn plants all through here.
Ow! Man, this is hard. This is not island paradise.
Oh, there's a lagoon over there. It's not looking terribly flash.
Looks like a big old cesspool.
Oh, look. Look, see that? Some kind of giant lizard dived under the water. It does mean we're sharing the island with something. There could well be saltwater crocodiles here.
Growing up to 6 meters, saltwater crocodiles are ambush predators that can strike at the water's edge.
I'm just going to cautiously go down and see how brackish this water is. And try not to get eaten on my first day.
Stay focused, Josh.
So that's still really salty. This is not okay to drink because it's right at the high tide line, so whenever there's storms, the seawater's just going to wash over here and straight into this lagoon. So we're just going to walk around the edge, and hopefully there's a creek that feeds into here, and there should be some fresh water. Hopefully.
This is not a good start.
Without water, dehydration will kill them in under 3 days.
Here's our riverbed.
Jeez.
We're screwed, basically. Yeah. That could be our island holiday come to a grinding halt.
At some point, maybe during the rainy season, there's water will flow down here quite readily. Obviously, not that readily at the moment.
We need to keep pushing on, so we'll push up another half a K.
Josh knows their best chance of water will be further up the riverbed, but he has no idea how far.
So, if we follow this up, we're going to find hopefully some pools.
It's starting to get really hot. I have no idea what time it is. Shouldn't be this hard to find water. You're going to spend a day hacking down the forest to get anywhere. Big headache.
You okay? Got a headache, eh?
Huh?
You got a headache.
Yeah, I mean, my head was banging on the way in.
You got a dry mouth?
Yeah.
Once you get a dry mouth, then you're basically screwed. Sunstroke kills people, so it's not to be trifled with.
Okay. I need to get this water. I need to get it fast.
Headaches and exhaustion are early signs of dehydration. They urgently need water. Josh has 15 years of survival experience and knows just where to look.
A liana vine.
What does that mean?
You can get water from these things.
Ah. Sure that's...
Yeah, well, it's got a smooth bark and the liquid's clear.
Ah, uh-huh. Now it's dried up. That's desperate state. Let's go.
You sure?
Yeah.
The liquid from the liana vine is enough to keep Matt going. 2 kilometers inland through dense jungle, they reach the source of the river.
Water!
Oh, that's a concern.
There it is. Source of the Nile.
It's fine, it's clean, it's not salty. We can drink it, we just need to boil it.
Okay.
Boil it for 3 minutes, bang. That's not salt water, so in my books,
Cool.
she's all good.
Let's go and boil it.
With water on the boil, Josh and Matt now have to set up camp before sundown.
It's an interesting choice of knot. What do you call that one?
I don't have a name currently for it.
It's a chef special.
Sorry. I'm wishing I'd been a Boy Scout. That's good. It's not the finest mineral water in the world, but it's good. Couldn't have come before time.
Light fading fast, they set out in search of their first meal of the day.
We're going fishing. We need some bait. Hermit crabs, bait. I've rigged up a basic fishing line rig. I've just got a sinker on the very bottom. Need to grab one of these hermit crabs out.
It's too late to head out to the reef for bigger prey,
Put them on my hook.
but Josh believes there could be fish to be had from the beach.
Anything on there, bro?
A bit of weed.
Oh, you caught some weed. No fear of us raping the oceans, that's for sure. Not catching, that's all right. Tomorrow, we're going to gear up and we're going to go snorkeling around the corner. Then we're going to get something to eat.
At the end of day 1, they have water and shelter, but no food. They're a long way from living like kings.
Look at that view. Fortunately, we can't eat the bloody view. There's hermit crabs everywhere. Not good bait. Ow! I don't know if you saw that. That bloody hermit crab nipped me on the foot. Unbelievable. He's got to go.
British chef Matt Tebbutt and Kiwi hunter Josh James have survived their first night on a remote Malaysian island. They're determined to prove they can find and cook fantastic food with only basic equipment. But so far, they've caught nothing.
Are you ready to go get something to eat?
Yeah.
Josh is used to fishing off New Zealand's Pacific coast. First light, he's ready to go.
I'm quite excited to get into where the goodies are. I really love free diving and hunting in the ocean. It's great, it really is. You don't know what's out there in the wild blue. Could be bountiful, hoping for good food, like lobster.
While Josh dives, Chef Matt sets off to scour the island.
Look at all this rubbish. Just chucked off ships or just washed around the world.
It's just a shame it all ends up on these beautiful beaches.
There's a big old basket up there. I mean, that could be a fish trap. So we might as well utilise it if it's here. So Josh is currently underwater somewhere over there.
Chances are we're going to get something. I'm confident. He's very good at his thing. So I'm confident at some point we're going to get fish. I'm off back into the unknown back here, back into the jungle.
Chef Matt is an expert forager who often serves wild ingredients in his restaurant.
What you won't find is anything fruiting under enormous trees like this, because this tree will cast a shadow in which nothing else will grow. So what I'm looking for is pools of light. So we really need to sort of home in and focus. It's a bit like hunting, isn't it?
Oh, that was stink as. The visibility is about maybe 2 feet. It's going to take me hours to find anything. I haven't seen any bloody fish.
Man, this is hard. This is hard and horrible. I think we'll go back to the beach, take stock.
I've been under there for a couple of hours and there's just nothing down there. There's no fish down there, there's no crustaceans, no crayfish, no crabs. There's nothing. We could be in serious trouble.
Day 2 on Pulau Tiga. Josh and Matt have failed to find food on the island. They need at least 1,000 calories a day to stop their bodies burning their own fat reserves, the first step to starvation.
Fresh coconut. I can't see any big trees. So perhaps these are getting washed up.
Coconuts can survive intact for months at sea. These ones have washed ashore from another island.
Ah, there you go. What's that? Water. Coconut water, but water nonetheless. So that's good. Good source of water and a good source of food.
Each coconut contains over 1,500 calories, a vital source of energy.
Hallelujah! Coconuts, that's good.
How'd you go? What's that face for?
There's nothing.
No fish.
Nah, I didn't see any big fish, any parrotfish. It's like a bloody desert out there. It's unbelievable. I got some laundry baskets. There's nothing. We have to get
You've
out.
got 2 laundry baskets there. Okay. This is not the island paradise I expected it to be.
I'm not very happy at all, but I'm bloody hungry. We can eat 4 coconuts each a day. That's it.
What happens after that?
You get the shits.
Coconuts are only a short-term fix. Eating too many will cause diarrhea and dehydration.
Just need to find some meat, fish.
You could eat hermit crabs. I wonder what they taste like.
Hermit crab and coconut soup.
To the beach.
Hopefully they taste good. They should do. They're crabs.
Hermit crabs are scavengers who live on rotting fruit, decaying fish, and even feces.
Beautiful!
While Matt preps the hermit crabs, he gets Josh to make coconut cream, a classic Southeast Asian ingredient.
So you need a tree or some kind of spike. I like big knives. We need to get to the cocoa nut. It's inside the husk. Now it's got a little face on it, see that? So what we're going to do, we're going to crack them right on the forehead. Just scrape as much of this coconut out as we can. Dip in a little bit of warm water. Squeeze all the goodness out. Mmm. The breast milk of the forest.
So these, I'm going to treat them like mussels. I'm just going to chuck them in a really hot pan with the coconut. Very, very simple. Beautiful. Amazing. Start of a recipe. That's the start of why I'm here. That's enough. Lid on for about a minute or two. Have a seat.
Where's the seat?
There. And look. Ta-da! Perfect.
You look awfully excited about this.
I am excited. It's our first dinner, sitting on the beach, eating coconut crabs and looking at the sea. Amazing. What?
Oh, I'm guessing you haven't tasted one yet.
No. What's wrong?
What is that?
Got a really bitter aftertaste to it.
Yeah, disgusting. It had to happen one day, bro. One day you had to have, you got to cook a bad meal once in your life. This is it.
Thanks. Don't hold back.
Unlike other crabs, the hermit's soft abdomen is full of bitter-tasting intestines. After 2 full days, the only edible things Matt and Josh have found are coconuts.
Right, in all the movies you see with desert islands, there's always fruit trees and it's paradise, but here there's nothing.
Their dilemma has got Josh thinking about their next move.
We need to be on that desert island, not this desert island. You see it where the dark water is out there?
Yeah.
That's obviously a reef of some sort.
I do a lot of underwater hunting with a spear gun. And my experience tells me that's where the predatory fish are going to be. That's where the lobster are going to be.
I think so. We may have to build a raft or a canoe or some type of vessel to get us out to yonder goodness.
All this land. We need to go all the way over there.
We need to go over there to get to the good stuff. Ah!
Josh believes the darker waters 3 kilometers offshore indicate reefs, which should be richer in fish. In the middle is a sand spit, much smaller than Pulau Tiga.
The plan is, if we paddle straight out in the morning when there's no wind, on the way back we can pretty much just hang out and blow back across.
Or get blown into the ocean.
Or get blown in the ocean, either way. It's a win-win, I see.
How is that a win-win?
Oh, at least we'll be out there with his fish, not in here with his no fish.
So we've got a plan. We've got a dangerous plan, we've got a plan. Yeah? I mean, I have no knowledge of rafts at all.
What we're going to do is make a cataraft.
Right.
What we're looking for is bits of bamboo that don't have big splits. Splits pretty sweet, straight, no cracks. That's what we're after. Sweet. All right.
Let's make a raft.
heaps of bamboo. Bamboo's not actually growing on the island, but it's washing up on these beaches from other surrounding islands. It's really good for us.
Bamboo's hollow structure makes it float, ideal for raft building. And Josh also makes use of the rubbish that lines the coast.
One man's trash is another man's treasure. Is that a hammock? That's going to come in handy as well.
Josh's design has a rectangular base with 2 bundles of bamboo strapped to the top. Water containers washed up on the beach provide extra buoyancy.
We don't have a heck of a lot of lashing. We've got some old netting and a bunch of twine that we found in a roll. It's going to be a bit ragtaggle, but we should have enough to lash it all up.
After 4 hours of hard labor and dozens of meters of bamboo,
My bloody back is killing me.
Beach yoga.
their raft is beginning to take shape.
I'd like to have some kind of platform in case the sharks turn up. Definitely a hazard out here, I think. She'll be right. Oh no, that's all right. It's pretty solid, isn't it?
To finish the raft, they add a platform of bamboo and netting. 2 diagonals give stability and rigidity.
We probably want to go 3 long on these, dude, I reckon, just in case they come undone.
If they come undone, we're finished.
This is the top of our platform.
If they come undone,
As long as we double wrap once we put the
that's
bottoms
a long
on.
way, and chances are the current will blow us around the headland there. Dehydrating, strapped to a bit of bamboo. We could really screw up here.
On a remote Malaysian island, Kiwi hunter Josh James and British chef Matt Tebbett are trying to prove they can eat like kings. But 3 days in, they're surviving on a diet of coconuts.
Yeah, morning time, I like coconuts. End of the day, not so good anymore. I don't know why that is. They lose their appeal pretty damn quickly.
They still haven't caught any fish.
We tried fishing from the beach last night, this morning, nothing.
They're gambling on a homemade raft to get them to better fishing grounds 3 kilometers offshore.
You reckon that water's gonna last us, bro?
Got it.
They're taking 4 liters of water, enough to last a whole day.
Come on, let's go. Hey. Oh, here we go. It's a test.
Keep it square, bro, keep it square.
Working, man.
It's pretty sweet.
We're like pirates. We got a pirate joke.
Can't tell it.
Got it.
It's R-rated. Stinking wind.
Come on, man. Paddle.
I'm gonna be ready for a sleep. Almost there. Come on, bro.
What time do you think it is?
1 o'clock. Stay focused, Matt. This wind's slowly picking up, if you notice that, just in the last half hour.
It's taken most of the day to get here, much longer than they expected.
We made it! If we had been an hour later, we would have been poked. What's the matter?
There's nothing here. And there's certainly not going to be any water.
Pull yourself together, man. Let's get something to eat.
With no fresh water, this sand spit is uninhabitable. But it's now too late to make it back to Pulau Tiga before dark.
The water we have is what we came with, which isn't a lot. Our time on this island is limited Doesn't matter how bloody good the fishing is.
Josh fishes the sea off New Zealand with a high-powered spear gun. Here, he has to improvise.
Oh, we're just looking for a good, straight, skinny piece of wood to make a spear with. I'm going to use some of my slingshot rubber as an engine, so to speak, to drive the spear. A Hawaiian sling, it's called. But fingers crossed this is going to do the job. Bloody hope so. We're pretty hungry. One broadhead arrow. Now all we have to do is bind that to this end of the shaft. Using this rubber, you stretch it up, hold onto it there, and then it just gives a little bit more thrust when you get close to the fish and jolts forward and catches them by surprise. It's pretty hard to spear a fish just by thrusting because they're so fast. As soon as you start thrusting, they'll take off and you completely miss a little. Into it.
The sand spit protects the reefs from strong currents. This means less silt, clearer waters, and more fish. Josh is going after grouper, common on these reefs.
Tidy.
As Josh puts his fishing skills to the test, Chef Matt puts his foraging skills to use on the beach.
The one thing that there is in abundance on this island is seaweed. This stuff is great. This is called green caviar or sea grapes, and you can see why. I mean, this alone will keep us going because it's packed full of nutrients, it's packed full of iron. You can eat it raw, and it gives the most beautiful kind of popping sensation in your mouth, just like caviar does, and that's what people pay a lot of money to experience, and here it is in the wild for free.
With a fish in the bag, Josh looks for shellfish under the rocks. As a practiced free diver, he can stay underwater for up to 3 minutes. But after a diet of coconuts, energy levels are low.
Finally found the crayfish. Little jammed under there. So I'm gonna have to get the spear in there. I wish I had a better breath hold. There it is, one quite colourful and very dead crayfish.
Oh my God. Good work. God, that's brilliant.
Look at that row. Yeah, crazy, eh?
Nice one. Good work, man. Good work. So it's worth coming over, huh?
It was worth coming over, yeah. Go.
I'll go cooking.
After 4 days, Matt and Josh finally have the makings of a meal.
What I'm going to simply do is steam everything in one pot, and what that's going to give me is the most amazing, fresh-tasting seafood dish that you could possibly imagine. Here's the sea, here's the fish that came out of there. It's just magical. I mean, this, as for a chef, is as close to fresh as you can possibly get. All this lovely roe as well, which I'm not going to waste, because that's delicious.
The lobster's eggs, or roe, is an expensive ingredient prized for its sweet, intense flavour.
That's good. here's my fresh seawater. Then the seaweed's going to go in. That's going to form a really nice base layer, and it's going to steam all that fish beautifully. And then finally, this beautiful lobster. And I'm going to put that on the shell side down, so it's not going to cook too hard. I'm going to look at that in about 5-10 minutes, but I shouldn't imagine it's going to take much more than that. Right, you ready to eat?
4 days of coconuts, I'm pretty hungry.
Ta-da! Oh, that looks good. Smell that. Beautiful.
Can we eat it instead of looking at it?
No, it smells amazing. That's seaweed. Have you eaten seaweed before?
I'd rather eat the fish. Can I eat the fish, please?
No, gorgeous. Try the meat. It's good.
Sure beats coconuts.
That grouper is bloody lovely. That's so soft.
It's tender, isn't it?
Oh my God, that's good. Yeah, try these. So these are sea grapes, and they burst in your mouth like caviar. Good, aren't they?
Good texture, eh?
Yeah. It takes ages and ages to put the simplest meal together. 4 days in one pot, basically. That's
a lot
nice.
of blood, sweat and tears went into that. Well worth the effort.
It's so much harder than I thought it was going to be. This isn't the kind of the tropical paradise that's going to throw food at you, and everything just takes it out of you because you're just lacking in energy, really. But that's
You
great.
must be knackered, you poor all of that chopping and stirring, poking. I really feel for you. Bloody hell.
All right, fair enough.
You're gonna see right here, there's no rain coming.
I can check out and I can go to sleep safe in the knowledge that I've got energy to get me back over the other side.
With no more fresh water, Matt and Josh must leave the sandspit at first light and return to their camp on Pulau Tiga. To try and speed up their return journey, they make a sail for Matt's hammock.
It's good, wind's blowing straight over the mainland.
On the way, Josh anchors the raft to the reef with a rope so they can have another go at fishing.
Just managed to tie her up on the reef here. As long as the raft gets continuous pressure in the current, we should be okay.
If they can't catch fish to take back to Pulau Tiga, they can end up with nothing but coconuts for the rest of the week.
So Josh is currently nowhere to be seen, so I'm going to do a spot of fishing of my own. Nobody's going to interrupt me, nobody's going to tell me that I'm doing it wrong, and I'm going to enjoy the peace and quiet. Ba, 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 ba. Ba, 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 ba. I haven't heard from Josh for a while. He should be poking his head up by now, shouting at me for something. A knife. Bait, give me bait. Give me something, give me a knife. Don't know where he is. Hang on. Right. Okay, now we got a problem. We bloody come a trick. Surround the reef. Josh!
Josh's makeshift anchor has failed.
Josh!
Matt is now drifting towards open water.
Josh! Josh!
And Josh is nowhere to be seen.
Josh! Josh!
Chef Matt and Bushman Josh came to a remote island off the coast of Malaysia, determined not to just survive, but to live like kings.
Josh!
But on a fishing trip, their raft has come loose and Matt's now drifting.
Out there, towards bloody Java.
And Josh is nowhere to be seen.
No water, on my own, on a broken raft. Not good.
idiot!
I guess that's our fishing trip over. Better go save him, mate. G'day, mate.
I didn't think you were coming. You're having a lovely time.
I was. I could hear you yelling and screaming.
Yeah, well, I've nearly lost my bloody voice.
Yeah, I figured I'd better come back to the raft. Wind's picked up quite quickly, eh? Look where we were this morning, bro.
See it now. We were at the top of that island and now we're down the bottom of the bloody island.
With no water left, they must get back to Pulau Tiga.
Come on, paddle.
Look, I'm the captain of the ship, okay?
No, you're not.
This is
You're
my
mutiny.
ship. There's mutiny already.
We made it.
Nailed it.
That was great. That was real adventure. I like that.
That was good.
Downside is now we're back here.
We're going to eat for dinner.
We've got coconuts.
This is a bit
This
stinks.
is rubbish. Although I don't want to eat this one. It's still got a face. Does that cheer you up?
That was your Josh is drifting away face.
It looks like you.
Back on Pulau Tiga, the first task is the long trek to get water.
This is a long way to come for some water.
I'm gonna have just a nose down here.
Gonna look for some more plants.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, that's amazing. This is something quite special, quite unique. This is called a nibong palm. And the bit you eat is about 1 metre from the top. It's a vegetable, but it's no ordinary vegetable. See, this would be up there with the very finest new season's white asparagus. This is really, really expensive. And the reason it's so expensive is because just look at it. Look at these spines. They're absolutely razor sharp. Not quite like picking your own at the local farm. There you go. That's what we're here for. Delicious. Absolutely delicious. Almost like a nut. Very soft, sort of macadamia nut.
The nibong palm is an expensive delicacy in Malaysian food, reserved only for special occasions.
Delicious, isn't it?
Oh, mate, that's really good.
It's also going to be a fantastic accompaniment to any fish.
I reckon at night, because it's a full moon,
Yeah.
I reckon there'll be fish coming into the tide pools. We could probably catch a crab or two. We go down tonight under the moon.
Yeah, okay. There's little else option, isn't there?
During a full moon, the tide will go out further than normal, revealing more of the island's rock pools.
You can't really see what you're looking at, can
Really
you?
hard to see, doesn't it?
Yeah. This is just as hard as everything else this week.
With just a knife, their plan is to collect shellfish.
So this is our last-ditch attempt at finding some food on this island.
Not much meat on that sucker, is there? Catch and release. Stingray!
What do you got? Bloody hell, what's that?
Stingray!
Good shot.
Josh has trapped a potentially lethal stingray.
Watch your legs, in case it flips.
The tail is barbed and venomous.
Yeah.
Here we go. It was well worth coming down here. Happy?
That's really good. It's a decent size, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, that's good. A real turnaround in no time at all. But such is life out here.
At 3 kilos, the stingray is their biggest catch yet. At first light, Matt goes in search of ingredients to turn the stingray into the restaurant-quality meal he's been planning.
This will be a really good area to look for fruit trees. This plant is directly under the sun, and it looks a little bit different to all those around it. It's got a different leaf structure. Crunching the leaf out, and there we go. It's a curry leaf, and a few of those thrown into some hot oil and some coconut milk. That'll be just beautiful.
Curry leaves will add a nutty aroma and a citrus taste to any dish. Now Matt's got the Southeast Asian flavors he's been hoping for.
One thing you need to be careful of cooking in the wild is contact with all these kind of dangers. Everything's got a defensive mechanism. Everything wants to kind of hurt you or kill you. And it's perfectly natural, but it's something that we kind of have separated from.
Josh makes more coconut cream and brings a touch of civilization to their final meal.
I'm gonna make bamboo spoons.
Till now, we've just been getting by, you know? We've been surviving. We've been doing little other than sticking things in fire. And any old monkey can do that. But that's not why I'm here.
This is one stage I don't want to cock up. Oh, Take two.
Sitting here on a beach to get away from all the nonsense of Michelin stars, inspectors, and all that crap. It's really liberating.
Better go back and see what Matt's up to. He farts around in the kitchen, that fella.
For their final feast, Matt is serving Nibong palm and stingray coconut curry.
Oh my God, that's good. That's so good. Those curry leaves, fragrant flavour. I mean, that is totally, totally reminiscent of this area, and that is what I've been after all bloody week. Boom! Done.
Yeah, that skate's good, the soup's good, everything's good.
And the fish, a lot of flavour coming from that fish. I'm really, really bloody pleased. It's taken 7 days to do this. This was a hard location. Really hard. I think for me it's come together right at the end, and I'm going to go home quite happy and with a very sort of fond memory, but it took a lot of work getting there.
I think that's our boat coming in.
That is our boat. I recognise the colours.
But we're alive, and we're getting out of here. Pretty tough week all up. The raft, that was a triumph. The raft, it's still floating out there.
Adios. It's been beautiful.